Rule number, what's rule? 76. No excuses. Play like a champion. We may have lost some games we were not supposed to lose, but we also won some games that we were not supposed to win. I knew we had a team that was going to compete, and that is why we scheduled teams like Altoona, Hollidaysburg. That's why I took them down to the Pottsgrove area to compete against some Lithuanians. We definitely did not play an easy schedule, and each night we had to bring our best game to win. Even though we did not beat Somerset, you left a lasting impression on those that were there to support the Bearcats, or those that were at home listening or reading the newspaper the next day. Our fans, yourself and I, we won't remember the finer details of the game, but they will remember the pride that you played with in the second half. As we proved throughout the season, we were not going to lose without putting up a fight. Coming from 16 points down to almost pulling off a huge upset will be what we remember. We will remember the nice playoff run that you guys have put together over the last 2 seasons. Last year, playing in the District 6 championship game, and this year being 2 points away from playing in it. So you guys have definitely left your mark here at Huntingdon High School. A little history. This year marked the 71st winning season in the 99 years of basketball here at Huntingdon. Overall, the record has had 1,330 wins. The school has had 1,330 wins compared to 811 losses for a 62.1 winning percentage. Our team resume this past year, what we've accomplished. We are 4-time consecutive champions of the Huntingdon Lions tournament, holiday tournament. This year, we broke the school's single game 3-point record by hitting 15 versus a very good team in Tyrone, hit 15 threes. And we also tied the record for most steals in a game with 22 versus Phillipsburg. Each year, we also recognize players that have taken charges throughout the season. Each season, we challenge our players to take as many charges as possible during a game. Taking a charge during a game could cause a huge momentum swing. A charge could be a game changer or a crowd pleaser. For each charge taken throughout the season, the player would earn a milkshake. This year, during certain games, we would double the milkshake reward, or against Somerset, we tripled the milkshake reward. So what I want to do right now is call up the players that have taken charges and get their milkshake coupons. So Curtis King took 1 charge, he earned himself 1 milkshake. Matt Speck took 2 charges, 3 milkshakes. Top, you got 1 for 3. Believe it or not, Nate Gearhart took 2 charges too. 3 milkshakes. Taylor Mitchell had 3 charges equaling 5 milkshakes. Kobren took 3 charges equaling 6 milkshakes. And our milkshake leader, our charge leader for this year, Shane Montgomery, 5 charges, 10 milkshakes. Anytime you want to go to the Meadows. Now we're going to move on to the letter winners. In order to you guys. Where do I begin? First, I should probably stick my foot in my mouth. Let me explain. Over the past couple seasons, I've always think to myself and might express to the other coaches that the 9th grade team might struggle a bit this season. Now let me back up, pedal backwards a little bit and explain why. Over the last couple seasons, the 9th grade team really consisted of more underclassmen than more 7th, 8th graders than 9th graders. Usually playing a 9th grade schedule meant that you were going up against players that were just physically bigger or stronger than you were, as in the 7th, 8th grader. Which in my mind thought, okay, you're going to struggle a little bit. Which meant maybe not having a winning season. Which meant sticking my foot in my mouth. Okay? What you accomplished this season was just outstanding. Finishing an undefeated season at 19-0 is an accomplishment that you, as players, coaches, and parents, should be very proud of. I'm trying to put this accomplishment in perspective. Just think, how many athletes in the world have an opportunity to say they played on an undefeated team? In NCAA tournament history, there's only been 19 teams entering the tournament undefeated. 19 in history. Okay, you're witnessing one right now, Kentucky. And in the NFL, there's only been one team finish undefeated. 1972 Miami Dolphins. How many people here tonight can say they played on an undefeated team? Very few, if any. Now this is where I can brag a little bit. I've experienced 2 undefeated seasons in my lifetime. My first undefeated season came when I played as a 9th grader under Coach Fields. That team went on to win the state championship at Juniata Valley. My second undefeated season came when I coached the 2011 graduating class to a 20-0 9th grade campaign. That team went on to win the Mountain League championship here at Huntingdon. Even though I didn't coach this junior high team, regardless of what anyone says or thinks, I'm going to claim this as my 3rd undefeated season that I've been a part of. No disrespect, coaches. That memory of finishing the season undefeated at 19-0 will last a lifetime. In commemorating your undefeated season, your coaches and the Bearcat Cager Club got you a plaque for your accomplishments. Coach, come up. With my experience as being a player or a coach of an undefeated junior high team, those teams went on to win other championships. Those expectations will be the same for you guys. Back in the locker room, I focused your attention multiple times on the banner that's hanging above the dry erase board that has the league and district championships on it. As I stated before, to the 7th and 8th grade team, don't be complacent. Don't be satisfied with your game and your skill. Don't think since you finished undefeated, that success will carry over to the rest of your career. You need to continue to be self-motivated and become the best player and team that will play in the Bearcat Gymnasium. I want to congratulate you guys, the coaching staff, on a tremendous 19-0 undefeated season. We got them little plaques. It has the team picture on it, along with the year, 9th grade team, their record, and the player's name and number. So, come on guys, come over here. Owen Lane.
of Grubby. Nate Fleming. Nick Rigby. Nick Gearhart.
Coach, you keep
Ryan Speck. William Sulesky. Jack Ritchie. Philip Keller. Marcus Stratton. And a couple who aren't here, Andrew Miller, Ned Coe, and Brant Sliver are not here to accept.
And we also have one for the coaches. So again, Coach Ritchie, thank you. Congratulations. Coach Ornshaw.
Thank you.
Coach Leiters. Thank you. Thank you. Play in 44 periods of the 88 total periods played throughout the regular season. For each playoff game played, 4 periods were awarded to all players regardless of entering the game or not. This year we had 8 letter winners. We had a lot, actually we had 13 on the varsity roster, 8 letter winners, and we had a lot of the players, all 13 were really close to lettering. Unfortunately, I'm going to stand by my rules and let's see who's going to letter. This year, the underclassmen letter winners are Hudson Speck earning his 2nd letter and Taylor Mitchell earning his 2nd letter. And you're noticing the blue binders. Throughout the season, I try to find as many articles that I can possibly find on the internet, newspapers. I have their career stats for each year, and then it all added up. Again, newspaper articles along with player efficiency ratings, the stats from the season, records are in there, a lot of information in this, just to have a memory throughout the season. Curtis, come on up. All right, come here, Curtis. All right, Curtis is earning his 2nd letter. For the last couple of years, Curtis has taken on the role of being a thorn in Gearhart's side. Curtis took this job very seriously and was great at it. He would anger Nate to the point that Nate would start crying about it. Curtis looks innocent, but believe it or not, he can be quite the dirty player that just agitates his teammates and opponents, which I'm all right with that. Don't have any issues with that. Curtis is one of the most reliable and committed players that we had in the program. I could always count on Curtis being at summer league games or open gyms, and I could always count on him driving to Altoona, Phillipsburg, so thank you for that. One of my favorite moments from this season was Curtis' game against Tyrone, as he kept us in the game by hitting 3 after 3. How many did you have? 4? 5? 4. Even though Curtis did not maybe play as much as he would like, that did not stop him from practicing hard night in and night out and basically being the ultimate team player. No matter things are going good, going bad, Curtis was always the one sitting there cheering his teammates on, clapping. So, thank you. Congratulations. Kobren is earning his third letter. I want to highlight a few of Kobren's career here. Kobren was named the MVP of the Lions Holiday Tournament this year. He was tied for second in the highest field goal percentage in a game. That's in our record book. Okay, you went 7 of 8 for 88% versus Tussey Mountain, first game of the season. You're third all time for most blocked shots in a game. Okay, I think that happened last year. 7 versus Bellefonte. You've put yourself in the record book for 5th for the most rebounds in a career at 470 rebounds. And last year, Kobren was an honorable mention for the Mountain League. And him working on his game and improving, he earned a spot to the second team of Mountain League. So congratulations on that. Kobren started in the basketball program only 4 years ago, and his development since has been just exceptional. I have many stories I could tell about Kobren, but I'll save you the time. Guys, do you remember when Kobren commented that he could not make a summer league game because he had family reunions to go to? I asked him, how many families does he have? What about the time Kobren went down hard at practice? Went to Trainer Dan's room, came back to the gym on crutches, and then 10 minutes later was miraculously healed and ran out on the court. Or the Twitter war that was started after the Altoona game. Though my favorite memory was how you just dominated Johnstown last year in the semifinals, leading us to beating Johnstown, from my understanding, first time in Huntingdon history. Or how you just kept making jump shot after jump shot over Zach Engel for Penns Valley. Or what about the game-winning shot against Tussey Mountain as time expired? Your development as a basketball player led to a lot of our success these past 2 seasons. And you got to promise me one last thing. You have to promise me that you'll be a 2-time state champion at triple jump. Shane is earning his second letter. So Shane, where do I begin? What was my favorite Shane story? Is it that Shane always lost his pair of shoes? Or took someone else's shoes or apparel? Which, when he walked in the door, Coach Payne, guess what? I forgot my basketball stuff to turn in. When Shane was around, something was always lost or went missing. Or is it my favorite story when Shane and Matt missed the bus to the Mount Union game? Nope. Actually, my favorite Shane story, and I don't know if your mom and dad know about this or not, was when we left to go to an away game and got back to realize that Shane never turned off his car. Yes, that is correct. Shane left his car running for 4, 5, 6 hours while we traveled to the game, played the game, and then traveled home. On a basketball note, Shane was quite an intense player, which sometimes clashed with my intense personality. I like players that have that edge. At times throughout the season, Shane came up big offensively and defensively. Shane's shooting kept us in the game at Central, and he made a huge three late in the game against Penns Valley. And plus, I'm sure there's other ones I'm not remembering. And one play that seemed very little at the time, but I think proved to be just huge, is I called a timeout with like 20, 30 seconds left up at Somerset because we're down 16 and someone was holding the ball. Okay, I called a timeout. He said, "Why are you holding the ball? Shoot it. We got to score." Well, we shot. We came out and shot. But Somerset got the ball back. And that next possession, as time was running down, Shane took a charge going into halftime. And that charge, believe it or not, it was huge. Because Somerset makes that basket, they go up even further. So those things that you did on the court paid dividend throughout the season. So thank you for being a Bearcat basketball player, and best of luck. Matt Speck earning his second letter. I cannot believe Matt was on time for the banquet. Usually Matt's showing up a minute prior to practice, a minute prior to starting practice when they should be in the gym 15 minutes before practice. When Matt came to practice, you never knew which Matt was showing up. It was either Matt that was smiling and having a good time, or the Matt that just hated the world. Usually Matt was hating the world because he felt like he was not contributing to the team. And I had to make Matt a believer that what he was doing on the court was extremely important to our success. One of Matt's most memorable games this season was on the morning that he texted me at like 7:30, asking me when he needed to be in school because he woke up at 6, hugging the porcelain throne. We played Penns Valley that night. Matt played every single second with the flute buck, contributing to one of the biggest wins this season. Matt's contribution on the court probably went unnoticed by many. Matt was not torching the hoop with points, but he was leading the team with assists and steals. Matt doing the little things correctly led him to be named to the Lions Holiday Tournament All-Tournament team. Matt was also a game changer in the playoff game versus Bellefonte. We wouldn't have had a rematch against Somerset if it weren't for Matt stepping up and being the difference. And besides basketball, Matt and Shane, you definitely contribute to the team, but what I am the most proud of is your senior project. Senior night and Stid night was just an amazing, emotional night to be a part of. The both of you represent yourselves, your family, your team, school, and community quite well. So thank you, Matt, for that. Kobren is earning his third letter. I want to highlight a few of Kobren's career here. Kobren was named the MVP of the Lions Holiday Tournament this year. He was tied for second in the highest field goal percentage in a game. That's in our record book. Okay, you went 7 of 8 for 88% versus Tussie Mountain, first game of the season. You're third all-time for most blocked shots in a game. Okay, I think that happened last year. 7 versus Bellefonte. You've put yourself in the record book for 5th for the most rebounds in a career at 470 rebounds. And last year, Kobren was an honorable mention for the Mountain League. And him working on his game and improving, he earned a spot to the second team of Mountain League. So congratulations on that. Kobren started in the basketball program only 4 years ago, and his development since has been just exceptional. I have many stories I could tell about Kobren, but I'll save you the time. Guys, do you remember when Kobren commented that he could not make a summer league game because he had family reunions to go to? I asked him, how many families does he have? What about the time Kobren went down hard at practice? Went to Trainer Dan's room, came back to the gym on crutches, And then 10 minutes later was miraculously healed and ran out of the court. Or the Twitter war that was started after the Altoona game. Though my favorite memory was how you just dominated Johnstown last year in the semifinals, leading us to beating Johnstown, from my understanding, first time in Huntingdon history. Or how you just kept making jump shot after jump shot over Zach Engel for Penns Valley. Or what about the game-winning shot against Tussey Mountain as time expired? Your development as a basketball player led to a lot of our success these past 2 seasons. And you got to promise me one last thing. You have to promise me that you'll be a 2-time state champion at triple jump. Actually, all the other players, I put Matt Speck earning his 2nd letter, Kobren. I have Nate Gearhart. I didn't have him earning any letters on this. Actually, this is Nate's 4th year lettering. And again, probably in Huntingdon history, I probably don't know a whole lot of 4-year letter winners in basketball. Just to highlight Nate's senior and career highlights. This season, Nate was named to the first team Lions Holiday Tournament, and he was previously 2-time MVP. He was voted the Mountain League coaches. He was voted by the Mountain League's coaches this season as the MVP of the Mountain League, and he's also a 2-time first team member. He was also named to the Altoona Mirror first team, and he had a chance on Friday night that he got voted in to play in the Altoona Mirror All-Star Classic. One thing I kind of took away from that, Nate, the Altoona Mirror Classic, is as they were calling the players out, your name wasn't mentioned, your name wasn't mentioned, your name wasn't mentioned. Nate was next to the last guy to be called, which to me, that was a great honor. The first guy was Brandon Martinazzi, who was an outstanding player from Bishop Carroll. But to keep going down that line, and you being next to last, I thought it meant a lot to me. Some records. He's 1st, 2nd, and tied for 3rd for most 3 points in a game, which is 10, 9, and 7. He's tied 1st for the highest free throw percentage in the game, 10 for 10, 100%, which happened 3 times throughout his career. He's 2nd most points in a game, 43 points he did this year against Mount Union. He's 3rd for the highest point average in a season at 22.3. He's 3rd for most 3-pointers in the season at 55, which he did last year. I can't believe I'm saying this one. He's 4th most steals in a career, 144. And here's the great accomplishments. He's 1st all time for most 3-pointers in a career at 179. He's 1st for most rebounds in a career at 648, passing his father. And he's 1st for most points in a career at 1,547 points. Nate, I'm not exactly sure where to begin. Your game, season, career records speak volumes of what you meant to the team over the past 4 years. There's been so many clutch moments throughout your career that's hard to mention or remember of all of them. A lot of your success came from your ability to score from anywhere on the court. You've been a vital player over the past 4 years and will be greatly missed. So, to honor Nate for his accomplishments, we got his jersey framed and a little plaque at the bottom. You can take that home, hang it up, bedroom, fireplace, wherever you want to. Okay. And actually this number, I had to look back in the record books. His sophomore year, what number did you wear? 22. Or sorry, freshman year, what number?
22.
22. So he actually, over the last couple seasons, we had new uniforms. He actually did wear that number his sophomore year. So congratulations, Nate. In the seniors' bags, they didn't really get a senior gift. They got their shirts that they wore a few years ago, and a picture from senior night with their parents. Their senior gift, they said, we went down to Pottsgrove, and Coach Fields and Jeff Matts knew their way around the area, and it was a long day. Probably left at 5 in the morning, and they were like, Coach Fields was like, "Well, let's see if we make Shady Maple." I'm like, "What's Shady Maple?" Well, it's a huge buffet and down around Lancaster, so we're gonna pick a date as a senior gift. We're gonna pick a date here on the weekend, and we're gonna make a trip down to Shady Maple. So that's your senior gift, guys.
Kobe and I decided to get Coach Payne and Coach Mitchell something, like they all gave us stuff. So we'll give Coach Payne his first.
I'm supposed to read.
Yeah, open it up. What we got Coach Payne was a new clipboard because in our time as a Bearcat, we witnessed him break many clipboards. And he would always, this was counted summer league games and regular season games. He would always smack him and be like, "You guys owe me a new clipboard." And so we got him a new one right there.
Oh, I'm sure it won't take long to break this.
Hopefully it lasts a little longer.
Thank you, guys.
There's two little things for Coach Mitchell. The first thing is juicy fruit gum, because Kobren, myself, and Gearhart were probably the culprits of taking most of his gum. He'd bring at least a full pack, and then by the end of the game, it's pretty much gone. So he'd always tell us to make sure we get him some gum, so we decided to pay him back and get him some juicy fruit. And this, we decided to get this. It's a football tee. One time at practice, we were doing a drill. It's like a full court layup drill. And one of our players, Gavin Martin, who's not here, he did a layup and missed it. And as he was frustrated, he walked to the side of the court and was just over there all upset. And Coach Mitchell, who was upset with him, decided to tell him get the ball out of the way so people don't get tripped, hurt. So he punted it as hard as he could, and the ball hit him right where the sun don't shine. And he was down for probably 20 minutes. So we got him a kicking tee, so he looks like he has a pretty bright future in kicking. So we want to get him a kicking tee so he can keep practicing.